All righty. Well, welcome everybody. It is 4 o'clock, so we're going to get started right on time. As we have more people arrive live, I'll let them in. But I did want to welcome you. Yay, this is so exciting. And I love that I get to see so many of you. So if you are on, if you don't have your camera on, if you're comfortable turning it on, we'd love to see you so that we can all energetically kind of engage and practice together. You should have your oils. Whatever you have is perfect. So if you don't have any of the oils, don't worry about it. You'll still benefit from the yoga big time. If you do have the oils, the ones we're working with today are Deep Blue, any formulation, On Guard, Balance, Serenity, Wild Orange, and Lemon. So those are the oils that are used during this practice. I also recommend having some coconut oil on hand, just in case you get the oil, maybe you rub your eye and you forget about it. You know, it's nice to have that coconut oil to dilute and apply, you know, if you get any sensitivity going on. What else? Some of you, I think, prepared your lemon water, so we'll be sipping this throughout the day, and you'll hear me talk a lot about the emotional quality of the oils today, because this is essential oils and yoga for stress. But basically, at its core, this is just a bunch of self-care practices strung together. So you can take little pieces of this practice and do it throughout your day at any time of the day. And I encourage you to do that. So the lemon water is just one of those things. So holding the lemon, you know, really embracing the smell, taking it all in, because there's so many benefits to just a simple oil like lemon. And you'll hear me reading a lot today from this book, Emotions and Essential Oils. So as we sip and drink our lemon water right now, or you can even just smell from the bottle or put some on your hands. On the wrists is a really nice place to work with the lemon as well. So feel free to apply that lemon now and just come to a nice comfortable space. So whether that's seated, whether that's laying down, but just allow yourself to really experience the aroma of that lemon essential oil. So lemon is the oil of focus, which is why it's so good for yoga practice. It engages the mind, it aids concentration. And while it does support the emotional body, the focus really is on the mental field. So it improves our ability to focus, especially by focusing on one thing at a time. So that truly is the only productive way that we can ever get anything done, is to focus on one thing at a time. And it helps restore energy, mental flexibility, and the drive to complete a project. Letting a couple other people in here. Welcome, welcome. So we started with our lemon. Emotionally, lemon inspires a natural playfulness and buoyancy in the heart. It assists in releasing feelings of despair and hopelessness by restoring feelings of joy and happiness. So it really, one of the reasons I chose the lemon to start with is because I think so many of us are kind of dropping into that place of despair. Even if it's not our despair, just with what's going on right now, it's hard not to pick up other people's despair, right? And a lot of people are despairing for a good reason. And so the lemon just gives us that little uplift in our mood that we need to still feel and process all of this, but, you know, keep ourselves in a good steady space. So that's lemon oil for you. The next oil that we're going to work with, we're going to get right into Deep Blue. So you're going to grab your Deep Blue, whether you have the rub or the oil. And really, if you have the rub, you only need about a pea-size amount like this. It's even a little bit, you know, more than I might use. If you have the oil, about 4 drops is sufficient. And we're gonna rub this on the lower spine. So sacrum, tailbone. You're gonna give yourself a little back massage with the Deep Blue. And if you have some left on your hands, then you can go ahead and get into the shoulders. So even if you don't have the Deep Blue at home, rub your shoulders, rub your neck, and give yourself a nice massage. So we've got lower spine and upper spine. You're just really working in there, you know, grabbing those muscles that are tight, you know, getting into the jaw. Ooh. And then whatever tiny amounts of deep blue you have left on your fingertips, so we're not putting on more, just what's left, we're gonna take the fingers to the crown of the forehead and then just massage like that, and then just kind of get into your hairline and give yourself a scalp massage. You can work around your ears. And then it's optional if you have sensitive skin, skip this. But whatever's left, you might also rub right here, right under the sinus cavities. And that can be a little too much if you have sensitive skin, but I'm just using what's left on the fingers, and that's gonna help our breathing practice so much. And I can already see some of you like, whew, you know, really breathing that in and starting to relax. Whether you've got the oil or not, just working your shoulders is a lovely technique any time of day. So go ahead and just find that straight spine. Now close the eyes if it's comfortable. And as you start to breathe deeply and find that yogic breath, I want to share some things with you about this particular blend of essential oils. So deep blue is generally used for physical pain, but it can also assist those of us who are resisting or avoiding the emotions underneath the physical pain. And it gives us the strength to face emotional wounds, allowing the wounds to surface for transformation and for healing. So essentially, we're using pain as our teacher here, and we're not fighting it, we're leaning into it and asking what it has to show us. And it's the same thing with stress. Instead of running away from it and always going so quick to get rid of it, we're not trying to avoid the stress, we're trying to lean into it and ask it, how can you be my teacher? What can I change right here? And it's the same thing with fear. So whether that fear is manifesting as stress or not, that's the root of it. And as we breathe today and practice today, let's really ask ourselves, what's underneath? What's really there? Another benefit of this blend of oils is it's very good for opening the nasal passages and the respiratory system. So let's try now gently bringing the ring finger and the pinky in. And same thing with the thumb. And we're gonna rest the ring finger on one side of the nose and the thumb on the other. And if you like, you can rest these two fingers, your peace fingers, right on your third eye. So we've got ring finger on one side, thumb on the other. And close off one side and exhale and inhale. And switch sides, exhale, inhale, and switch sides. And continue that, exhaling and inhaling and switch, exhaling and inhaling and switch. Continuing this alternate nostril breathing on your own. Slow it down. Make that breath full but easy. And if it's too much, just do a normal deep breath, relaxing your hands in your lap. Otherwise, continuing this alternate nostril breathing a little bit longer. Just think exhale, inhale, switch. Exhale, inhale, switch. Sitting a little straighter. Engaging your core a little more. Continuing exhaling, inhaling, and switch. See if you can slow it down a little more. Exhaling, inhaling, and switch. And then as you're ready to release the mudra, relax the hand in the lap And just take several easy deep breaths in and out of the nose. Feeling your chest and your belly rise and fall with every breath. And as you're ready, gently open the eyes if they're closed. And I hope that even doing just that allowed you to release some of the stress you may have been carrying as we started the practice just 10 minutes ago. So if you have 10 minutes, you guys, remember that. Deep blue, massage it, top of spine, bottom of spine, breathe it in, and then do some of that alternate nostril breathing. The next oil that we'll work with before we move more into the asana practice will be On Guard. So go ahead and grab your On Guard if you have it at home. This is a blend of cinnamon, clove, eucalyptus, rosemary, and wild orange. We're gonna apply 2 to 3 drops on the soles of our feet. So this is a good thing to do every day, even morning and night anyway, especially during times like these. On Guard helps keep us well. It supports our immune system. So rubbing it on the soles of your feet is just a good practice to get into. Whatever's left on your hands, you're gonna apply it kind of over the throat and the heart area. You can do back of the neck too if you like. And then I like doing a little On Guard inhaler. You think about it, all the On Guard droplets or molecules that you're inhaling are coating the mucous membranes in the nose and the mouth. So that too can also help you stay well. Just kind of sipping it in your mouth and then doing a little snort on one side and snort on the other. That eucalyptus combined with the peppermint and the deep blue is really gonna help us breathe now. So that's one of the reasons I like pairing these together. And then we're gonna head right into a nice diamond pose next. So I'm gonna come back on my mat. Diamond pose is a cobbler's pose with the feet pulled forward. So it's more of a yin style posture. Grab all this, move on back. So if you have your pillow, you might want to sit on it because it is so nice for kind of tilting the pelvis into place. So I've got pillow right here, sit on the edge. This is actually an outdoor furniture cushion. It makes a great prop. I love it. I see everyone grabbing their pillows. There's something about just lifting the sit bones, which enables you to find this posture a lot easier. And then the feet are fairly far away. You'll see I'm not like super tight here. I've got the feet away so I can just drape over a little bit easier. You can let the spine round. This is a yin style posture, so rounding the head is fine. Draping into it. I also really like, if you have yoga blocks, bringing them underneath the forehead is just such a good thing to do there as well. So we're gonna be here for at least a couple minutes. So if this is too much of a stretch already, back out of it, be kind to yourself, and then just settle into it, take your time, ease in. As we're continuing to release and relax in that lovely diamond pose, I'll share with you some of the amazing things that On Guard can do for us emotionally. So while this is the blend generally used to shield us from bacteria or mold or viruses, this blend's protective properties extend beyond the physical realm. So if you're open to it, right, think about all the energetic parasites, whether they're domineering personalities or anything negative in our life. On Guard helps strengthen our immune system, but it also helps protect us energetically. So think about this oil as one that's very useful for strengthening the inner self, inner resolve, standing up for yourself, living in integrity. That's all very important in yoga, is living in integrity, expressing your boundaries. This oil also helps us release unhealthy connections such as codependency, parasitic relationships, or emotional viruses found in negative group thought. Wow. So there's a lot in this blend beyond just keeping our immune systems strong. And let's take a deep breath in through the nose, staying in this diamond pose, and exhale out the mouth. And see if you can relax the shoulders and the arms more. Good. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, release out the mouth. Nobody can hear you, so feel free to sigh it out one more time. Inhale, and then exhale, relaxing fully and slowly rolling up to a comfortable seat. Take your time, gradually rolling up and lifting the spine long, finding your shoulders over your hips. We'll just take big circles with the heart here, so the heart reaches sideways, forward, sideways, and back. And we just roll and free the rib cage and all the muscles in the back and the neck. Keeping the sit bones nice and grounded as we continue to rock our way forward, sideways, and back. And let's travel the other direction too. So it's such a nice way to massage our inner organs, make our spines happy. And gradually coming up to center. Let's bring the feet in just a little bit closer. And grab onto the ankles, sit very tall. And then relax the head to one side. So we're getting a lovely little neck stretch here. And then rolling the chin towards the chest. And take the other side. And you can continue like this back and forth, or you can start to take the head in big circles if that feels okay on your neck. Really any movement in the head and neck and shoulders that feels good. Anything you need, maybe some shoulder rolls or side reaches. One of the beautiful things I love about working with oils as we practice yoga is we smell those beautiful aromas. So we're encouraged to keep breathing deeply and mindfully and slow and steady. Now let's kick the feet. So we're gonna have one foot straight out, one foot tucked in. I'm still sitting on the blanket here or pillow. I'm just going for a gentle fold over that leg. Yeah, finding that nice hamstring stretch. Taking slow inhales to lengthen the spine and slow exhales to relax and deepen into the stretch. Going for 5 to 7 deep breaths here. We'll start to take it back up to the feet. And we have two options here. Option one, if I have right leg extended, right hand reaches up, left hand reaches back, and you just lift the chest and take a nice opening there. You can also bring all your weight on that back hand, lift onto the knee and the shin bone, and lift the hips up. So that's a second option, maybe some arm circles there, as long as that's okay on your body and the wrist. And then we'll all slowly release and simply switch sides. And then same thing there, just a slow inhale to lengthen and exhale to stretch over that leg. This is so fun for me to be able to see so many of you. I teach on Zoom twice a week for a local yoga studio here, and I love it, but we don't have it set up where I can see you guys. So this is so fun to be like, oh, yay, everyone's doing it, hello. And I have you all in gallery so I can see you all. All right, once that leg is all juiced out, we'll go into that big heart opener. So whether you keep the hand down and lift the hand up, beautiful back bends there, or if the knee's happy with it, we could lift onto the knee and the shin, reach back, maybe some arm circles. Think of this as a modified wild thing. So good for opening up all those deep muscles in the pelvis and the abs. Whew. All right, slowly release. And we'll find a comfortable Sukhasana, easy seated pose. cross-legged seat. I've still got my pillow, so feel free to keep it there. Just coming into a gentle spinal twist, reaching the right hand behind you, left hand crosses over, and gradually looking over past that right shoulder. And think about this not as a static movement, but as a dynamic one. So we inhale, sitting taller, exhale, belly muscles turn on and squeeze and twist us deeper every exhale. So allow that to happen, that dynamic nature of this posture. Squeezing out all the bad juju with the help of that on guard. And slowly release. And let's switch the feet. We're gonna cross the feet the other way. So keeping that brain healthy and young, and go ahead and find the left side. Left hand reaches behind. Sitting a little taller every inhale and twisting a little deeper every exhale. And gradually unwind, release. And we're gonna slowly make our way to a child's pose. Feel free to sip some lemon water first. And I just read something so amazing about child's pose. If you do child's pose 5 minutes a day, you can help correct a lot of back problems and a whole bunch of other things. So let this be your excuse for 5 minutes of child's pose every single day, whether you break them up or you do it all together. So one option is to actually keep the knees together, feet together, and have your pillow and just kind of cuddle it like this. So you can take a really gentle, restorative child's pose. You can also bring a blanket or pillow under your forehead and bring your hands back like this. The whole point is just to find a very comfortable child's pose and to hold it for about 1 minute. And so allow yourself to take those slow, deep breaths. And once again, experiencing all these beautiful smells on your skin, on your hands, on your chest. And just relax your jaw as much as you can. And from there, relax the sides of your neck. And relax your shoulders. And let your arms just be very soft. Imagining all the muscles in your arms softening away from the bones. Even the muscles in your wrists and your hands, let those just relax too. We'll take a few more deep, deep, full breaths here, in and out. Gradually make our way to kneeling next. And now I know that kneeling is not always everyone's favorite, especially for the knees. So if this is not happening for your body, grab that pillow and we're gonna slip it over the calves, wedge it between the knees, and then sit on the pillow like that. And hopefully that helps give you some extra cushioning and support. So know you have that option to sit on that pillow, just wedge it over the heels, right between the knees. Oh no, sorry guys, I'm back. All right, so we're in hero's pose and we're gonna interlace the hands behind the back. So squeeze your palms together, elbows are bent. So we're not internally rotating and dumping and locking, not like that. We're bending, squeezing the palms, roll the shoulders back, and you're in this very deep external rotation. Yep. And if you can, start to lift your hands away from the low back, and it'll open that chest even more. Couple more breaths. Woo, slowly release. Interlace the fingers in front of you. Got an angry dog next door. Push the hands forward, round the spine, tuck the chin. Take a couple breaths there, opening up the upper back. And let's lift the hands overhead now. Stretching the webbing in the hands, opening through the chest and the side body. Maybe a little side to side. And slowly release those arms back. Woo! And take that cushion, bring it out of the way. We're gonna come to hands and knees, tabletop pose. So finding that beautiful square box of the body. Shoulders over wrist and fingers spread nice and wide apart. Elbows bending straight back if you were to bend them. So the heart stays open. And let's tuck the toes under and start to press the weight back into the feet. And we should start to feel a stretch in the feet, the plantar, in between the toes. If you don't quite feel it, you can always lift up, tuck the toes more, and go back into it again. You want to open through the feet. You can store a lot of tension and a lot of stress there in between the toes. And then gradually come back up, point the feet, tap it out a few times. And let's drop the belly, take a big cow pose here. Inhale. And exhale into our cat spine, rounding, tucking the chin. And go ahead and take a few more of those on your own pace. Inhaling forward, exhaling, rounding the spine. Feel free to funk it up in any way. You can always roll the torso around or take hip circles. Whatever's gonna help warm up your spine and your pelvis as we get ready for our first downward facing dog. So whenever you are ready, we'll bring the hands forward about a hand length. Tuck the toes, and from that cow pose, lift the hips up and take a nice downward facing dog. And I love keeping the knees bent here. Maybe pedaling out the feet, bending one knee and then the other. And at any time, if this is too much or you're just not feeling like down dog, feel free to drop the knees and sink back into child's pose. So that's always there for you. Whether you're in that down dog or child's pose, it's really up to you. And then let's all drop the knees and sink the hips back. We're gonna grab a couple more oils. So the next two oils that are coming into our rotation are Balance and Wild Orange. So I'm gonna have you guys grab your Balance first, if you have it at home. And we're gonna take about 3 to 4 drops in the palm of the hand. And then from that little reservoir of the Balance, we're gonna take one finger and just apply that Balance on the third eye. So between and above the eyebrows, under the nose, and then also on the bony part behind your ear on both sides. So Balance gets applied on forehead, under nose, behind the ears, and then just rubbing the rest between your hands. So Balance has spruce, hellwood, frankincense, osmanthus, what am I missing? Blue tansy, and blue chamomile. So all of these oils are very good for grounding and for emotional balance in general, for anxiety, just when you feel a little not right, Balance is the oil to grab. And then because it is an emotional oil by nature, it was designed to balance emotions. When we combine it with Wild Orange, which is the emotional balancer for any oil, it just works even better. So when we combine the Balance and the Wild Orange, and this was actually the mix that got me into dōTERRA. It wasn't until I tried Balance and Wild Orange and applied it and felt the immediate effects that I got it. So I feel like everyone who uses dōTERRA has a story where they just went, oh, okay, I see what, you know, the power of these oils. So once you've combined the wild orange and the balance, good places to put it are on the soles of the feet, on the heart center, even on the belly. Actually, wild orange is really nice applied to the belly. Think of it as a sacral chakra oil. But you can rub this all over you. I do. I love this combination of the balance and the wild orange. So before we kind of get into our next series, so we're going to go into a shoulder strengthener series, and it's designed to artificially induce stress. So we're doing essential oils and yoga for stress. So why do I want to make you stressed? I want to make you a little stressed in your shoulders so that you breathe and you work through it. And that's really the power of a yoga practice and the oils, is can you work through it instead of stuffing it down? Okay, so wild orange, just know that it's great for abundance and emotional balancing, uplifting the mood, balance, combination of tree oils and roots. Trees live in the present moment. They are not in a hurry, they're stable. So we really connect to all of that tree energy and perseverance and the balance. So we're gonna go ahead and find our downward facing dog again. And we're gonna take it to where you're kind of challenged. So we're gonna hold it for a little bit longer than you might be used to. Again, if it's too much, just drop into that child's pose and breathe, and then head back to it if you want to, okay? So when you're ready, downward facing dog, I'm gonna do it with you. And again, the knees do not have to be locked and straight. I almost always have mine bent so that I can really push into the hands, shift more weight into the feet, so we are more balanced in the weight between the hands and the feet. And if you want to come into the kind of traditional classic version of this pose, you would find a plank pose. Have your shoulders right over your wrists. And then from there, just lift the hips up. And there's your downward facing dog. But if that's too much load in the shoulders, then we could step the feet forward and bend the knees more. It becomes a lot more accessible that way. We're holding our down dog, we're breathing. Feel free to stay right here. And if you want more of a challenge, for the next 30 seconds or so, we'll lower onto the forearms for dolphin pose. So I've got the head off the ground. My head is not on the ground, but I'm on the forearms. And if you want even more challenge, you would walk the feet up towards the elbows a little bit. Really connecting to our breath and to the strength of our body. Just breathing, knowing that you can do it a little bit longer. Now, if you're in the dolphin, walk it back up to downward facing dog. So we're coming onto the hands. And then we're all gonna step the feet halfway up, hands halfway back, and walk the feet nice and wide and find a forward bend. So I've got hips over heels, right? Feet nice and wide apart, touching the ground with my fingertips. And then as you're ready, maybe starting to bend a little deeper and getting more of a stretch in the backs of your legs. Let's all walk it out towards more of a halfway pose now. And lift one hand in the air. Take a beautiful spinal twist here. You can circle that arm around, whatever feels good. And if you're twisted, eventually finding the other side. Staying with your deep yogic breath. And let's work our way back to that downward facing dog. So we walk the hands forward. We walk the feet back. We find that steady breath. And just like before, if you want a little extra challenge, come on down to the forearms for one more round of dolphin pose. So palms might be down or resting together. We're strongly pushing the energy up and back towards our tailbone. Take a few more deep breaths. You got this. And then we'll all rest it back into that child's pose. Good work, you guys. Sinking the hips back towards the heels and settling into your child's pose, whether the hands are forward or back, knees together or apart. That's up to you. Find that deep, full yoga breath, another minute or so. Gradually roll on up to kneeling. Just for a moment. We're gonna slip the hips to one side and then bring the feet forward. All right, getting into the shoulders a slightly different way. So we're gonna cross right leg over left, kind of like we would do for double cow face pose if you're familiar. So this is a big hip opener, by the way. So that's why this pillow can be, again, so useful. If we sit on the pillow, good chance we can get those sit bones nice and grounded. And the more we bring the feet forward, kind of the more we feel that stretch. Yep, so we'll feel this in the outer hips. Awesome. Now let's open the arms out and then cross one elbow over the other, eagle arms. Yep, doesn't matter which side, just notice which side is on top and you'll do the next time. So if you want more of a challenge here, you might lift the elbows up higher. You might bring the hands further forward. Oh, really feel that then. You might also start to stretch over the legs, and that is quite a deep hip opener. We're not all that warm, but if it's in your practice, by all means, go for it. So I love this particular blend of postures because it gets into those tissues that hold a lot of our issues. So allow yourself to feel it, heal it, whatever's coming up. Breathe, smell those aromas, come to the present moment, and stay with it a little bit longer. We're gonna go for about 10 more breaths, whether you're here, or forget about the arms altogether, and just let your head relax. Stay with the breath. You guys are doing awesome. And if you're bent over, slowly sit up tall. Remember which elbow you have on top, so that when we do the other side, you'll get that other side. Release, shake it out, switch the legs as you're ready. And then think about it, what side was on top before? It'll be whatever was most natural for you. Go ahead and find that other side with the arms, bind it up if you're working with the bind. Still finding that beautiful long posture, shoulders over hips. Tummy in, elbows up, hands out. Maybe we fold. Seek out that place that makes you uncomfortable. right? That's what the deep blue was for. Not painful, but uncomfortable. Be courageous, go there. And then find your breath, 10 deep breaths. Take about 3 more deep breaths, almost there. And then if you want to rush out of it, come out of it as slowly as you can. Gradually melt and unravel and unwind and move and shake it out a little bit. We'll kick the feet forward, shake out the feet. Nice, you guys. Now let's take it into more of a true cobbler's pose. So I love this posture so much, we're doing it twice. The first time we had the feet fairly far forward. This time we're gonna bring them in a little bit closer. So we're a little warmer now. And rock side to side, get those sit bones grounded down. And let's start with a long spine. So we're gonna telescope, lift the heart up, pull the shoulders back, and then gradually leaning and easing our way in. So you might wish to walk the hands side to side. You might want to roll the head around, do whatever feels good for you here. But eventually, at some point, start to release and surrender. Whatever that looks like and feels like for you, there's no right way, there's no wrong way. It's just about opening, surrendering, breathing, and staying present. We're going for about 20 breaths total here. Seek out that uncomfortable place, not painful, just a little uncomfortable. Breathe there a while. If your body will allow, perhaps walk the hands 1 or 2 inches forward. Soften the face and the feet and the collarbones for a few more breaths. And then so slowly start to roll your way out. From here, we'll simply use the hands to close the knees and extend both feet forward. And then drape your way into a seated forward fold of your choice. Maybe that's a straighter spine. Maybe that's more yin style. And it's whatever you need. Just finding that gentle forward fold. I love forward folds for releasing stress because we're coming into ourselves. So any posture that brings our torso down towards our legs and curls us in closer to that fetal position that we were in for so long is going to help us, especially when we're stressed or having trouble sleeping. Slowly roll up as you're ready. Speaking of sleeping, our last oil of the practice is Serenity. And so I did want to work with both balance and serenity today, because if you're gonna keep one thing from this practice, remember that serenity and balance together are known in the oil community as liquid Xanax or liquid calm. And I have used this for people who do suffer from panic attacks again and again and again. And they are very nice to have on hand. Obviously, if you need medicine on hand, have that on hand as well. But working with the balance and serenity for me has been a lifesaver over the years. And so we've just applied the balance. Now we're gonna apply the serenity in a similar way. So balance has frankincense. Serenity, one of the oils, is sandalwood. And that is, again, one of the most precious oils to use for anointing. So we're gonna rub that serenity right between the eyebrows, maybe a little under the nose, and even on the chin. So we smell it that whole time. And then whatever you wanna do with the rest of that serenity, I felt guided to tell you guys actually way before we even started this call to apply it near the crown chakra, but also the soles of the feet. So I've never done that before, but it just felt important for this particular group of people to have serenity on the soles of the feet and on the crown of the head, and just balanced energetically. So who knows why? All right. So for the rest of practice, this is pretty like a chill practice, you guys, because it is essential oils for stress. So we are gonna head into legs up the wall pose, or calves on a chair pose, or whatever you have, couch. So you could put your feet and calves up on the seat of a couch or a chair, or if you have a wall nearby, you can send your feet up the wall. And you just kind of side saddle, as close to the wall as you can with that one hip, and lean back and lift your feet right up the wall. And if you're doing this before bed, you can lift your feet right up your headstand on your bed or the wall that's next to your bed. Yay, I love it. I'm seeing everybody's happy toes. Everyone relaxing for legs up the wall. So cool. So as we start to settle in here and breathe and head to that place we go in Shavasana, I'll share one last thing about this beautiful blend. And inside this blend, we have good old lavender, cedarwood, hoe wood, ylang-ylang, marjoram, Roman chamomile, vetiver, vanilla, and sandalwood. So such yummy oils for rest. But besides being used for sleep and calming, it has a powerful effect on the mind and on the heart. It allows us to relinquish feelings of stress, anxiousness, and being overwhelmed. And it can support those who struggle with an overactive mind and inability to unwind. When individuals over-identify with responsibilities or fears, they create emotional states that do not support proper rest, relaxation, and rejuvenation. Driven by constant pressures and perceived burdens, individuals struggle to keep up with the demands of their lives. This blend powerfully addresses the underlying states that are often the cause of recklessness, stress, and imbalance. It encourages us to reconnect with ourselves and discover the peace that lies within, and then reconnect with the humanity in others. It invites individuals to acknowledge when they feel out of balance and allow time and space for true renewal. It also gently reminds that others are often caught in similar cycles of imbalance, and encourages compassion and acceptance of them. Serenity brings a sense of tranquility that allows space for personal reflection and peace and healing. And so we'll continue to melt and relax into this space of personal reflection and peace and healing. Allow yourself to breathe deeply a few more times, and then just let a natural breath take over. And you are just there to be the witness and observer of that breath, of your mind, and of your emotions. I'll give the option in a few minutes to find a seated meditation, but for now, allow yourself to just truly rest and relax in legs up the wall or Shavasana if you'd rather. Just get comfy and find peace, enjoying this silent Shavasana until it's time to come back. Start to breathe a little bit deeper now. Feel free to stay in legs up the wall longer. You can find your way to lying on the floor in Shavasana too, if you'd like. Or if you'd like to end with a few minutes of seated meditation, you can gently sit up as you're ready and find any posture with a straight spine. We'll spend a few more minutes in either legs up the wall, Shavasana, or seated meditation. And if you're seated in meditation, sit a little taller. And if you're resting on your back, take as much time as you need to wiggle those fingers and toes, to slowly bring the knees into the chest. Gradually roll to one side. Rest in a fetal position as long as you'd like before slowly coming up to a seat whenever you are ready. One of the things I think I love most about practicing with you guys over Zoom using the oils is that even though we're all in different places, in different states even, or non-states, in the case of DC, someday, we have the oils connecting us. And so we are vibrating on a similar frequency as we apply and smell with the same oils. And even if you don't have the oils, just thinking of the scent energetically connects us as well. So I want to say thank you guys so much for joining for our first ever essential oil yoga practice on Zoom. This was so cool. I hope that you take some of those nuggets with you. Just things to do throughout the day, like that lemon water, that neck massage with the deep blue, or working with that balance and wild orange and serenity to help manage your emotions. There's nothing like a good strong hold of down dog before surrendering into that child's pose. So I hope this value, brought some value to you in some way. I'm going to end the recording right now. Let's see.